he stopped walking at around 7 years.
No.
He stayed there for long, but around 7 years, maybe he thought I was mistreating him because he looked at his... We are not walking. He was like reluctant. Other children were being fed by mothers because they cannot grasp things. He also stopped, would bring his mouth to feed him. I'm serious. So I was still teaching, but
guys.
with a lot of, should I say, pain. What if I train him? So I started. Every time I'd go to the toilet, this, I don't know, it looks funny, but let me speak it. There could be a mother going through it. Flavia, I would undress before my son to show him how they poo. I'll undress, squat on the seat, and then I put him there. Then afterwards, I show. Every time I'd go for short call, I'd go with him. I started carrying the boy. When I'm washing, he's there. And slowly, he learned toilet manners. He started learning.
So from seeing you...
Pain came in. When he made 14 years, I was now teaching his age mates. Senior 1, senior 2 would be around that age. I would see children of his size, and I'm teaching them. And I'm leaving mine at home. That was the most trying moment. Leaving your child home. In a house seated, and we're teaching age mates. I think that was the most painful moment. I don't think there's anything, Flavia, that can happen to me in life that can be as painful as that time. I would tell them, this is my baby. So I never gave them that. He drained me.
You gave him everything.
Everything.
So these others...
I was just... Because there was no time. I didn't have time.
What kind of teacher do our personal struggles shape us into? That's a question that I want to ask us today. You see, teaching is not just a profession that is shaped by the training that we get, but it is a profession that is shaped by our personal experiences and the journeys that we move. I'll tell you, every teacher has a story. They have a story that has challenged them or something that has stretched them. And this has ultimately turned them into the educator that they have become. Some of these experiences or stories have been heard within the classroom, but some of them are actually real life stories that they have gone through themselves. Today, we're going to have a conversation about one such journey. A journey where a teacher became a parent who was looking for answers for her own child, and yet every single day, she woke up to go and provide hope to those that she was teaching. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Teacher Podcast, a space where we get to amplify the voices, the journeys, and the ideas of the educators that are shaping learning on a daily basis. The purpose of this space is so we can inspire, we can motivate, and we can equip teachers to thrive and not just survive. I am Teacher Flavia, your host. I'm a teacher by profession. I am a teacher trainer, and I am extremely passionate about the teaching profession. Today on set, we have an amazing guest, a personal friend, Teacher Noelline. And I'll just tell you a little bit about Teacher Noelline. Teacher Noelline is a teacher of biology and chemistry, just like I am, and has been teaching for the past 28 years. Guys, 28 years. She's an advocate for inclusive education, and she's a mother whose personal experience has transformed her professional purpose. Today, she teaches at Old Kampala Secondary School, and she continues to champion inclusive education, helping teachers, parents, and learners appreciate the beauty and possibility of inclusion. So, ladies and gentlemen, join me as we welcome Noelline. Noelline, you are very welcome to the Teacher Podcast.
Thank you so much, Flavia.
Thank you so much for accepting to come and join us for this personal conversation.
Yeah, it is my pleasure to be part of this.
Sure.
I'm so happy also to be here.
All right. So we always start this podcast by having our guests take us back. what inspired you to become a teacher, and specifically a teacher of biology and chemistry?
Thank you so much, Flavia, first of all, for hosting me and creating for me space on this program. Yeah, my names have been given to you, Noelline Watima, a mother and a teacher. What inspired me back to become a teacher, sincerely speaking, when I was in school, I never wanted to become a teacher of biology and chemistry. No, my vision was to become a doctor, and I worked so hard to achieve it. But having completed senior 6, my scores could not push me to that level. So I was admitted in Makerere University, government sponsorship, Bachelor of Science with Education, Biology, Chemistry. So joining that profession, I had hope that maybe on completing my degree, I'll go back.
Do you know what, Noelline? Yeah. You're speaking, and what you're saying is my exact story.
Yes, I thought I'd go back.
That is exactly what I was thinking, that I'm going to use the course as a stepping stone to go back and do medicine. Anyway, please continue.
Yes, I knew that after completing my course, I would get employment and I would be able now to sponsor myself. But when I came out, started working, somehow I got interested in the profession. I continued 2 years. After doing this, I picked interest and I thought, yes, I can make it even if I'm not a doctor. And so I started working even harder, pushing and grabbing all opportunities that were available within school, even outside school, to make life meaningful. So that's how I became a teacher of biology and chemistry.
Thank you so much.
Not that at any one time, as a younger girl, you wanted to become one.
And I'm yet to host someone who says that from the very start they wanted to teach. I hope that somehow we can be able to change that narrative, because it looks like everybody wants to become something else and not teach. But, you know, the thing is, when we get there, we are hooked and we don't want to leave.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so I am thinking, 28 years later, 28 years later, you have been in the profession. Are there any experiences that you've had in these years that have shaped the teacher that you are today?
Yes. There are so many experiences I've had. First of all, as a younger teacher, when I started my work, I became friend. I looked at I was teaching A-level, definitely, and that time I looked at my students as my peers. Yeah. So they became my friend. At times now, like those parties, the so-called diplomas of today, I would even give them, I would get from my wardrobe clothes and design them. Yes. So the children, my students became my friends. And on the road, I became a mother. I started shifting goals. Then I started looking at now these children as my children when I became a mother. And, you know, through the process, I'm getting a son, my first child. It was not easy, but what he went through also made me now understand. When I discovered he had some cognitive disability, autism, again, now I looked at children with a different lens. And here I am, after 28 years, by then, along the road, I became an examiner. Now I started becoming fierce, helping learners to excel, looking for grades. Then somewhere, when I looked at these struggling learners, then I realized maybe it's not about grades. It's about parenting, getting a conducive environment. And that's where I am now.
Oh, wow.
For everyone.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Noelline. So from what you're saying, you're now a teacher who is looking beyond just the grades.
Yes.
But one who looks at a more holistic angle for the children. Thank you so much. You talk about teaching very passionately.
Yes, yeah. 8 years is not a short journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has shaped me. I've accepted it and I feel I love it. And I encourage people to join the profession because they will take over from us.
Sure. Thank you so much for sharing that. As you were sharing, you mentioned a little bit about your son, and you mentioned you had a son who had a cognitive disability. And at this point, I am curious, to hear a little more about your son, if you don't mind. What's been your story like? What's been your journey? When did you discover that he was not well? And if you don't mind sharing with us.
Yeah, really, I know very many mothers could out there be going through what I went through. Yeah, when I started my family, I got that boy. He was born. He's called Cedric Watima. When I gave birth, he was normal. He grew up normally. He was very active. And so, such a nice, lovely baby. And I thought I was such a happy mother. So, along the road, when he made 8 months, I realized he was very aggressive, would throw things, was behaving not in a very normal way. Something came to my mind. Is this boy mad? Like behaving almost like a mad person. And, he looked normal. He had progressed normally with these other activities. That time he was growing. He had even started standing. But there are certain other attributes, behaviors that was supposed to have gained by that time, but was not gaining. So I realized even his communication, eye contact, was not making eye contact. Then at the rate at which was progressing, managing self-management, concentration was lacking. And I realized, there is a problem. That problem is autism, but by that time I'd never seen a child who is like that before. My first experience was with my son, because I'd grown up in a home, I'd seen nieces, nephews, and they were doing things normally. So I said, let me be patient. Maybe it's progressing slowly. So along the road, he made a birthday of 1 year, but I realized not even recognize that we are celebrating his birthday as others. Me and his guests were enjoying the day, but for him, he was not part of us. Then when we were celebrating that day, I realized there's something wrong.
On his first birthday?
On his first birthday, when he made 1 year. Hey, this boy cannot even cutting a cake. He's not maintaining face contact. He was not interacting. At first, I thought, because we were a young up family, and in our home, we had 4 of us, the maid, the caretaker, my husband and him, I and him. So I thought maybe he was not communicating, gaining speech, because he didn't have audience. That's what I thought. So I had to adopt another niece to give him company. Now, this niece was just 3 months older, but at least what she was progressing, she could do very many things. So by the time he made 1 year and 3 months, I realized there was a problem. Speech was not developing. So I resorted to go to speech therapists. And then I was given instructions. They never told me the condition, but they said the speech is slow, do this, do that. But at the same time, even other habits, development was very slow, toileting, self-management, things that a child of 1 year and 3 months would do. Most of those things would not do. It was very devastating. Then
And all this time, you were managing, you're trying to understand your son, but you're still teaching.
I was still teaching, but trying to understand. I would still go to school, but, I had a lot of stress. This boy's progress disturbed me, and I never knew which condition. And I thought maybe he was refusing to respond. That's what bothered me most, because I'd never seen such a condition anywhere else. Then as he grew around 3 years, I realized he was not picking. So what I did, Flavia, I identified the nearby nursery school. And I thought maybe if I get him away from our home, which was isolated, he will mix and learn. He was welcomed in that nursery school. They put him in a class, but then they also failed to manage, because he would pull things, throwing things was disturbing. He was, I would say, a nuisance in the class. So they returned the boy back to me. Again, I kept trying to look for answers.
So hold up, I'm thinking you were
still a teacher.
Were you staying like at the school, or you would?
No, we were renting.
Okay.
I would commute to school from him. And moreover, my school was fine in Nakaseke district, but I was staying around Kampala. So I was commuting But I would, at least every time I was not at school, I would be with that boy. And I would see, as a mother, you see, I would not communicate, tell people, not even my relative, but I would say there's something wrong with this boy. And so when they stopped him from studying in that school, that's when, and I was advised to look for special needs school. There was a school in Munguja, Mukisa Foundation. Somehow somebody directed me there. So I took him there. And so, again, with hope that he will get therapy, improve, and go back to school. I found a lot of disability cases, took him there, and then they started rehabilitating. But still, he never improved much.
So what does this rehabilitation look
Rehabilitation, like I thought, at the back of my mind, because now in the special needs school, they had variety of children with disabilities, from the lame, the blind, the various disabilities, and they are doing
physical
therapy, physical disabilities, and they were doing therapy. Even him, he had a disability. I thought his disability was speech, so they would also do speech therapy, kind of exercises. And they would also do like a medical examinations, do some kind of teaching, trying to teach children as they give support. They were mixing that too. Giving support, trying to teach them in class, but they are more in therapy. And remember, now that's when I was told that your child has a condition known as autism.
At Mukisa Foundation.
Yeah,
that's where you
Foundation,
got to know.
yes. Okay. Because Mukisa Foundation had some Germany, whatever, ladies, they would bring volunteers. So the administrators there told me, your child has autism, but with the support, he can progress. So I started Googling about autism and the characteristics, and I saw he had the characteristic. One of them is concentration, eye contact. Like if a child is not giving you eye contact, you are speaking and is turning the other side. And even especially concentration, the failure to differentiate between objects, a TV from a saucepan, hot and cold things. They are just playing around with those things. And so many others. And then what I realized, autism is a spectrum. It depends. So I don't know. There are various levels.
Yes.
But for him, he was at that level. He could not speak. There are some people who have autism but can speak, but when he could not speak. And me as a mother was only looking at one thing. Should this child learn to speak, other things will be easy. So my concern was not these other supports. I thought that the problem was speech. So he remained in Mukisa for some good time. But this is what I realized. He started also copying other behaviors from special needs children. There are these other children, I may not know the types of the challenges they are having, but you have these children who have dyslexia, Down syndrome. There are children who have various syndromes whose names I don't know, but there are children who don't sit, and others are lame, physically handicapped, and they would be now. They're using wheelchairs. So for him, he picked a lot of interest in those children who were there on the mat and children on a wheelchair. So he picked interest. Now he wanted me, he stopped walking. At around 7 years.
No.
He stayed there for long, but around 7 years, maybe he thought I was mistreating him because he looked at his... We are not walking. He was like reluctant. Other children were being fed by mothers because they cannot grasp things. He also stopped, would bring his mouth to feed him. I'm serious. So I was still teaching, but with a lot of, should I say, pain. But by that time, I had got even other children, the second and the third born, who for much as I was struggling with him, but I continued giving birth to other children.
Yeah. And the other children were fine.
And at home, it was very expensive. So I realized he needed, whereas others were fine, for him, he needed special attention. So I looked for a woman, mother, now like my age today, to take care of him. Even when he was going to Mukisa Foundation, I even hired special specialists from those people, physiotherapy, to come and help him. Now toileting, learning the home, and they would come, but still would not progress. Eventually, I think I got irritated and I was not seeing progress. I decided to withdraw him from school because I saw he was not progressing and was admiring other things. He would look at these other children. The moment, like, there's one child who picked a glass and banged it and broke. When he came home, he started with a glass. He would copy and try to paste things. At the same time, he was not progressing. So, Flavia, I decided to withdraw him from school, put him home, as I think of what to do.
How long was he home for?
He was home. By the time I withdrew him from school, he was around 8 years. Remember, I took him at 3 years, and I had hope that in 1 year's time,
he should be able to speak.
Yes, to speak, to do things. But with the disability, progress was slow, and me, I was very expectant, wanting things to happen very fast. So when he made he continued there up to 8 years. I withdrew him, kept him home. But again, those people made a follow-up. So they encouraged me to take him back to school. Again, I realized leaving him home. Now his little siblings had started going to school, and I felt like, why leave my boy? So I took him back there because I knew he could not manage a normal school. After all, he cannot concentrate. I first tried normal schools again in the community, but now he was 8 years and we're admitting children 3 years in nursery. So one of the directors of our school accepted, because I wanted him at least, because he was copying the other ones, the disability of the other. So I was like, if he goes to this normal school, and at least he copy, much as he's not speaking, see these kids going to the toilet, see them doing this, maybe at least he can go with that instead of copying the other ones, and was looking for the weakness of the kids, like lying down, destroying things. So they admitted him. But remember, he was now 8 years. So he was a big boy and was behaving more like a baby. So the teachers got scared that maybe he's not violent at all. But they thought, man, now suppose he becomes violent and now he's playing with these little kids and he's like a child. Suppose he boxes the kids. So they got worried to protect the other little children. They told me, Mama, why don't you take your child? I pleaded. Maybe we put him in another upper class, because children of 8 years are usually P3, P4.
Yes.
Now he was in nursery baby class.
Oh dear.
So you understand. And I was like, please, because I wanted him to mimic other kids. So finally they said, sincerely speaking, the boy is too big, we cannot manage. So again, I took him back. So I wasted some time that 8th year. So I went back and spoke to the management of the Smukisa Foundation. They accepted him. They continued giving him support, the support that they could. And when he made 10 years, I said, let me withdraw this boy. Because he was deteriorating. Yes. In the way much as he was speaking, was interacting, but I would not see him pick at a rate. But they gave him a lot of support, sincerely, and I appreciate. But me as a mother, I had high expectations. And when you're a mother, Flavia, of a child with disability, you live in a denial. Like, you don't accept. You feel they are not doing enough. You are so expectant, as if you want teachers to do miracles for you. You become unappreciative. You start complaining. So grumbling, thinking that maybe, those things, you live in a denial sometimes. So that stage, I think I was in a denial, but I said, okay, let the boy come home, and I try training him on the house chores. After all, I realized learning speech, which I wanted, would take longer. So
at this time, he's not talking.
He's not talking. He does not manage himself. He didn't have toilet
training.
All those things, even if feeding was a problem, he needed support. Like you needed a helper to be near him. So I said, being a teacher, my free time, why don't I now? And I had learned some of the things those people therapy do. So I said, why don't I work with a boy? Because even he at that age of 10 years, he could not even locate home. Like the moment he goes out of home, yes, he would disappear, locating, remembering. The moment he gets out of a gate, actually we lived life beyond our rich financially, because we had to look for a fence house because of him. When we were still raising him, remember I've told you we had 2 maids and we were teachers, because we knew the moment he gets out. Yes, my husband too was a teacher. So because we knew the moment he gets out of a gate, out of a home, he would either be knocked by a car because of the slow responses. So now we had to get a full fence house. So in that home, which was big like that, I said, Mia, can't I do something with my son? What if I train him? So I started. Every time I'd go to the toilet, I don't know, it looks funny, but let me speak it. There could be a mother going through it. Flavia, I would undress before my son to show him how they poo. I'll undress, squat on the seat, and then I put him there. Then afterwards, I show. Every time I'd go for short call, I would go with him. I started carrying the boy. When I'm washing, he's there. And slowly, he learned toilet manners. He started learning.
So from seeing you,
me, the mother, because the father, I first asked the father, like, especially when it comes to Susu, you show the boy.
And he wasn't comfortable.
He was not covered. I said, no, me, the mother.
But now didn't anyway.
He wouldn't like do like men. He wouldn't
do like men.
No, he would urinate
like
his
women.
Clothes.
Yeah. So when he learned, he would do it like
then
women.
When he learned, he would do like a woman. He would squat.
Okay.
But at least I was happy. He would squat even around the compound, do like a woman. He started mimicking what I do.
Okay.
Dressing, I would undress in his presence, get my panty. He sees the whole body. Then I also give him his. He started mimicking. It was not fun, but I had no choice. I said, now, can't I teach him the same way eating? I would eat, I would force him, because remember 10 years he was fed most of the time. He would, I don't know, he would not calculate the amount of food enough for him to eat. He would rub like a baby. He was behaving like a baby. So I would sit there. Sometimes I would escape from school to go home and manage. Slowly, as I was giving him support, I saw him progressing. So I said, I can even teach him how to peel. We started peeling matoke. I have pictures. I think I'll share the photos. He started slowly. He would cut, but would. And mixing tea. I would bring the flask, then he mixed. He learned slowly. By the age of 13 years, he had stopped. He would manage his bed. He would dress himself, though sometimes outside. Yes. But at least he would, inside, out. The shoes, even showing him that this is for the right. I would use demonstration. I would touch those parts. You see this? This curve here, this is that. Then I would show him. Then he would look. That's one thing they can imitate. He imitated, he started wearing shoes properly. So by the age of that size, I tried to work with him during my free time, holidays, and I was also encouraging the siblings, forcing them to go with him to church, Sunday school, to sit with him. Even when they were like studying, they were in nursery, we would study together, the alphabet. We even taught him to write A to Z. He can write those, even in numbers. He can write all numbers. He can copy. From home we taught, and he learned. So as I was teaching the siblings, now I started teaching also.
Did you leave work, or you were doing this alongside?
No, I know as a teacher. Okay. I would run away. The moment I finished my lessons, I ran away. Had holiday time. Sometimes I would dodge school because I had a lot. So I would create time for him. I decided to create time. So it took me like 3 years. By 3 years, he had progressed and was better. But then Flavia, pain came in. When he made 14 years, I was now teaching his age mates, senior 1, senior 2, would be around that age. I would see children of his size, and I'm teaching them, and I'm leaving mine at home. That was the most trying moment. Leaving your child home in a house seated, and we're teaching age mates. I think that was the most painful moment. I don't think there's anything, Flavia, that can happen to me in life that can be as painful as that time. Every morning I would dress, And I say bye to him sometimes, because that time now he had navigated the home. Now I had managed, at least we had managed. Of course, with also prayers, we are Christians, we would pray, do those, pray, ask for wisdom, things like that. So now, every time I would reach a class, I would feel sad. I'm teaching these people, my child is at home, even he doesn't. So I would feel a lot of pain. So because I'm a science teacher, biology teacher, we have laboratories. So I would hide in the laboratory, sometimes cry, sometimes feel self-pity. So I lived until he reached the age of 15. That's when now we moved to the USA.
Oh my God.
So that is it.
Oh, thank you.
That's how it was. What I can say, it was very painful, very challenging. And I didn't have a curriculum. I didn't know about special needs. Actually, those things I never knew. That there are even special needs teachers, I didn't know. But I was just doing things mechanically. But at least me, I rejoiced the day I learned my child can manage the things of the toilet and feeding. There I was sure I've left food, he will serve himself. I knew he knew. Slowly, even that time, I had to wait to teach him bathing. You go with him to the bathroom, you undress.
Oh dear.
I had no, and I was worrying that suppose this boy starts to talk, what is he going to say? I said, let him say whatever. So I told him I would bathe and he would look at me, brushing, like they brush like this, then I give him and I help him brush his teeth. By the way, I've not talked about this. When he reached the age of pulling out the teeth, it took longer. For him, all the teeth, he would communicate, he would show me. Because that time, the first tooth I showed him, would push it together, then we pulled the rest of the teeth.
He removed them?
He removed all his teeth.
By himself?
By himself, and would keep and give them to me. Every time he would give to me, I'd give him money. But he didn't know the value of money. So after giving him money, we would go to a shop, buy his favorite. He loved popcorns. Those kids love salty things more than sodas and sugary things. So would buy popcorns, would give the money to the shopkeeper, popcorns. And then later on, when he made 13 years before US, I would also give him money. Put money in a kavera, put a matoke or charcoal, then I tell him, go. And I remain at the background to see. So he would go to a place where they sell those things, and then give them money like 1,000 and bring 3 fingers of bananas, and I would celebrate. And another time I would get like a charcoal. We're going to buy charcoal. You see charcoal. This is money, charcoal. And we wrap in kavera, give him another kavera. Then I remain back. Then he would see, go to the neighboring place and would bring the charcoal. But there are 4 pieces. So that's how we started navigating. Then we also had a playground near home. I would also take him there to watch football. Then eventually he would, after some time, he got used to that place. So he would go, come back. Somehow, slowly, he learned to navigate home. Wow. But as all that was happening, I'm telling you, the most painful, when he was young, I was not minding, but when he reached the age of the children I'm teaching, that was very painful to me.
I cannot imagine.
And I was like, so that time it was really very painful, and I think I was lost. Whereas you are saying I'm passionate, I think I lost the passion as a teacher. And I'm like, then I continued teaching just for survival, not because I'm enjoying. That's why you are saying, that's why I was able to get time for him. Now I did not have time for these other children. I give these ones when mine is at home. So even if it meant dodging part of the lesson, to go back and give him support. Yeah, those moments were there where I was a negligent teacher at school because of pressure.
Yes, from home.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Noelline, for sharing. Your story is very touching. You're an amazing mom.
Thank you.
And wow.
The only thing that I've not told you, I failed to balance. Like I gave him the other normal ones. Even up to today, he's the baby at home. I would tell them, this is my baby. So I never gave them that. He drained me.
You gave him everything.
Everything.
So these others.
I was just, because there was no time. I didn't have time. So I gave birth to 2 more children in an interval 1 year. The one who follows him, of course, for him is 24. The one following him is 20. So it was 4 years. Now another one, 19. Those 2 kids, I think she's the father who parented, because when I never had time, you are in his bed, you are in the bathroom, you are food, what have you, and whereas I'm speaking looks like a fast thing, but those are not things.
Time.
Bathing, you take like an hour in a bathroom because you want him to run to scrub. Shaving, you have to show him. You undress and shave when it reaches that time of teenage. And then you buy shavers and then you show, then you wait for him. He do it and then for you fine tune. Then again, all those things.
No.
So it was taking a lot of time that I didn't create much time for the siblings at that time. Yeah.
Thank you, Noelline, for sharing. I'm still taking that in. May God bless you.
Thank you so much for listening.
So we meet in the US as part of the Fulbright exchange program. That's how I met Noelline, and that's how I got to learn about Cedric. Now, switch us to, you get to the US. What happens?
Yes, I got to US where I met Flavia, much younger. I was a mother of that child.
I was a mom too, by the way.
Younger mother, but me, I had that one. Yeah. He was 15. Remember, I've told you, from the time I removed him from special needs school, that took me like 4 years I was doing that. So when he made the 15th year, I got that opportunity to go to USA. Yes. When I went to USA...
I'm just thinking, even before you take us to the USA, now you're preparing to leave. Whom did you leave him with?
Preparing, by the time I was preparing to leave for USA, he was 14. Now he could manage himself.
Okay.
At that time, when I decided self-management, that was my concern. He would manage himself, would pick his teeth, can brush, can bathe, can dress, can do all those things. So what I needed is somebody at home.
Yes.
And he knew the home environment. He knew his routine. We get up in the morning, they can learn a routine. Then afterwards, we say prayer. Much as he doesn't speak, I would make him pray. Even up to today, he has to take a turn. When his easy turn is the program, you are reading the closing prayer, and you hear him murmuring. So that time, he knew the routine and he had managed. So even the father, that time had started even moving with him.
Yes.
Because actually, he was looking good and you could hardly know he had a disability. So because of that, it was not a problem anymore.
Yes.
Instead, that time I had a little girl who was in nursery. The baby was now my concern. The two followed him, I told you. I never catered for them, but the baby...
Yes.
That baby came when he was 14 years. That one, when he was around 13 years, that one was my only concern. But... the father could stay with
take
them.
Care of them. All right.
So we reached USA. My goal when I was going, by the time I went to US again, remember, Cedric had progressed and had gotten used to the idea that I'll teach his age mates, even when he's not in school. That was normal now. At first I said I struggled so much, but it took me like 4 years. After that, I realized you'll never be in school like these other children. So now I started hunting for results. Now I'm an examiner, wanting excellence, implementing the curriculum. So when I went to US, what was in my mind was to see how can we make children excel in science. I wanted science pedagogy. That was my interest. How do they teach science? How do they produce these scientists? Can't we make better ones in Uganda? So we go to USA, we meet with Flavia, we visit schools. Of course, we were going to schools and we had partner teachers. So I talked to my partner teacher. I wanted to tour. I asked him, do you have, for him, he had only normal children who looked normal in this guy. Then I said, do you have children who are like this? Because I had known that in US, such children. So they said, yes. But they go to particular classes. Can I connect? I said, I want to connect me and I see. So he connects me to the teachers, to the classrooms where such children, similar children with similar problems, different conditions are included in normal classroom setting. For them, their classrooms where such children are have two teachers. There's a special needs teacher and a normal teacher, like you, like me. But they always have support from a special needs teacher.
They sit in the same classroom.
They sit in the same classroom. But what I realized, these children are not given to teachers randomly. You know, in USA, teacher has their classroom. You may be biology teachers, and this is your biology class, and another biology teacher. But I think there is the way they see these children who have those special needs problems. They are distributed to particular classrooms. And now there is a teacher, but that teacher has to get a supporting teacher. So there are two teachers, the real teacher professional and the other one who is trained for special needs.
Yes.
So I go to those classrooms. What surprised me is I saw children worse than ours, worse than even the children I saw in Mkisa Foundation. Video cannot talk, Down syndrome, Mongoli, all those autism was kids than ours, and they were studying and were doing work. I got excited. Now I started losing interest in the other normal class.
In the other project. In the normal class.
Yes, I had even I lost now interest in the normal children. Even sitting in a normal class, actually, me I would write more. I moved to classes. So I said, ask them, and there are other classrooms. So it started taking me to those classrooms. And then that's where I also learned even refugees are also special in a way. They are also attached to particular teachers, but together they are mingled together with the normal kids. But these ones are also there, and their classrooms are not there.
So break time, they all
go.
Okay.
They go out, even during sports time, they would go to that place where we used to go for sports, all of them. But only that these ones now, their teachers also come along, but they remain at a distance, keeping an eye. So when they are there playing, you don't see, but the teacher is there, especially this other assistant teacher.
Yes.
So sits at a distance, is not near the child to watch and see the safety of the child. Yes. So they would teach normally the way we teach. And they would continue teaching normally, but the only thing that I also saw the method of teaching, they would break a content. Like, depending on the needs of a child, there's a child who cannot write, there are others who cannot speak. There's those who are just sleeping there. So there's a way they would make. They're teaching the same content, but pick out what these ones can grasp. Now, like for you, a biology teacher, you are teaching photosynthesis, or you are teaching foods, sources of proteins, eggs, things like that. Now they would just bring maybe an egg, milk, and then they show those. And now today we are studying proteins. As they are teaching the other content, these ones are seeing it. There's a way they do it. They break the content. So I saw them breaking content. But these children would later on after the lesson, even during the lesson, they sit next. They're just, the teachers are there giving support, but the children are together with others. That one touched me and shifted my thing. I said, these children. So I started disturbing my partner teacher, and I told him my story. In Uganda, these children are not allowed. Don't go to these schools. Is it possible? My partner teacher picked interest. So he took me to areas. He showed me, said, I'm going to show you others. Personally, I don't do it because I feel I cannot manage. But there are teachers who are passionate. So I shifted. So I was ever seeing, and I was amazed by the level of inclusion. And then also I started making observations. Remember, they taught us to observe observations. So the supermarket is called Walmart, where we used to go for shopping. I realized in that technology area, they had a boy who had Mongolism down the street.
I remember him.
And the boy would be there on you doing his work. I said, hey, these ones are also employed. I was forced to ask the supervisor, that one were employing of that section. I said, yes, and these people are very faithful, he's honest, he will report. Actually, we like them because they don't stress. And when you have them at workplace or even in a classroom, even when I went back to the other teachers. I said, me, I like teaching. I asked the teachers, the other normal teachers, first of all, when you are with these children, don't you find a lot of burden? He said, no, me, I like them in my class because they've taught my other children to love and to accept. I'm telling you, children who study in our classrooms here are different from others. They open up. Don't you see they've welcomed you irrespective of your color? Others may be a little bit spectacle. They're all whites, but you are like, don't you see you are welcome? They didn't see you as a black person entering because it teaches them to accept, to be understanding. And another thing, stress. He told me, when you have stress and look at these children and have issues, you get healing. So he said, first of all, it benefits me when I have challenges and I look at these children, I say, sincerely speaking, I have to be positive and grateful. And so the teachers told me, and from that, they've also realized other kids in that class turn out to be very different and they are supportive. Even when you are like in the playground, the classmate would also give support. When they are throwing, they are not good at throwing balls like that basketball, but they would give him a chance, even when they know he's not going to score. Whereas others don't want to give, they think this one is not good enough. Those ones who started with them would throw the balls towards them.
They were more accommodative.
And that's they would communicate in their own way. And that is the beauty that the teachers loved. Actually, every time we would go to that stadium, the teacher was like, don't you see? That one is their classmate. Much as he doesn't know how to kick the ball, he's going to ensure that one also gets an opportunity. And they would ensure. So that's how it is. So I was told that when you have them at workplace, that particular boy you saw enrollment, that helps to create a certain degree of peace in the environment. Those people who are not working, when they see him stationed, if this one is stationed, what about me? And moreover, they are very honest, so they report honestly without false accusation, and they don't judge. Whoever comes, they serve them the way they are. So, and they were like, we are even looking forward to recruiting more. So I said, they can even get jobs.
You got excited.
I got excited. They are good at workplace. Much as he cannot speak, he had speech problems. Much as they may not count, but they can be good at watching. They watch. This one is stealing. It is that one who has been stealing the phone. They communicate at the same time. They are bringing peace in the environment. People want to fight when they see such a person fighting over little things. Like,
no,
me, I'm blessed enough. I should not do it.
Oh, wow.
And again, also punctuality. When this one arrives before others, who can drive, like,
we need to
Joel
style
came
up
before me. Next time we should style up. So they use them. You don't need to communicate. She's like that silent communication. Yes.
So how then do you shift from science?
Yes.
You shift your project from something else.
Shifted. Flavia, you are aware when I went, I had collected a lot of data. I wanted to improve science performance. From there, I said, no. I think we have to do something. These children need to start there. So now I started first of all looking at my son. What do I do? He was already 15. Yes, he may not go back to nursery, he may not come back to senior. What do I do for my son? What about those children? How do I help them to access the few that I come into contact? So I started making research, collecting data. So I made a research project and I got a professor. I also took on course unit curriculum for moderate to adverse to moderate to severe disability. So by Professor Majinka, so I sat in that classroom and I learned more. So I started doing research. What are the forms? That's when I realized individuals with cognitive, those disabilities which are not physical, blind or physical, like body, bones, and deaf, they are there. And these individuals are individuals ranging from slow learners, even behavior problems. We have children at school, you warn, you beat, and they are not changing. It could be that they have disability. So I started now making research with the guidance of a professor and dived more, because my son's problem was not physical disability, it was cognitive.
Yes.
So I said, now I'm going to want to understand my son first. I started by helping him outgrow. So I made research, the types, how to help, what educators can do, what parents can. I made a lot of research and made me shape my understanding. And indeed, when by the time I left US, I said, yes, I'm going back to Uganda, but you should have these children in school. Why not? If they come, they should stay. Because before even me, I was intolerant. I teach, you don't understand, I continue with others. I had that as a teacher. But then I realized, it's not about understanding everything. It is about progress. There's some progress. Because when I looked at the way they were assessing these kids also in the US, it was different. They were assessing progress. At the beginning of the term, what could this child do? At the end of the term, how has he progressed? And remember, they're in a classroom with the normal children. What about this one? At the beginning of the term, what could he do? At the end of the term, what improvement has he made?
Yeah.
And then that's when I realized, teacher, when you are assessing a child, you assess progress in all areas.
All right. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for sharing, Noelline. Now, you have returned. You have gathered all this information, done all this research. You are on fire. Tell us what happened. The energy. What
Thinking that I'll change things in a minute. But I returned. So when I returned, I started with my son. He was at home. I told my husband, even when he picked me from the airport, my boy was there. I said, I'm taking back this boy to school. He said, what? I'm taking back the boy to where? I said, whichever school, he has to go back to school.
When you were leaving the airport?
When I was here leaving the airport, now I came with him top on my list. I'll help others, but I have to start from home. So we came home. Did I settle Flavia? Hey! I started again checking where can I take a child with disability. Then I discovered the places. I discovered one, Uganda Society for the Deaf, his age mates. Because he was already 16 years, he cannot go to nursery, he does not speak. But at least physically, and for us we had at home, as I told you, he learned the alphabet, he could write words, only that he could not speak them, like a cat, cow. Those ones we had done, letters number 1 to 10, even addition 1 plus 1, he would make sticks. 1 stick plus another stick equals 2 sticks. He would do those. They would not write the other 2 numbers.
Yes.
But he would know there's 1 plus 1, 2 sticks. If you make 3 sticks plus another stick, 4 sticks. And to me that it was good addition. So I discovered Uganda Society for the Deaf Vocational Training Center, but didn't have much of cognitive, like for him, his problem is not deafness. He can hear, cannot speak, and cannot, he cannot comprehend things. That was the problem. But these ones can comprehend, they are very brilliant, the only problem, physical disability. I said, but they are doing vocational. They have very many vocational courses from catering, tailoring. But these are children who have gone to school up to senior 4. They know sign language, they know the English, they know all those things. I said, how does this child enter this school? Because at least he can be there with them. Sincerely speaking, I forged. I had a neighbor who was a nurse. I said, how do you recommend? I want to take this boy, but they need an assessment to show that maybe he has done some bit of study. So she got for me an assessment, and then she wrote for me a letter that they had, and wrote an assessment as the requirement to enroll there. So when I took him, they looked at a handsome, very smart boy. They didn't know him much. I think who hears, this one we shall manage. But our hearing is fine. They will tell, come, he comes. Do this, he does. This one we shall manage. So he enrolled there. And then there are a number of courses, but I know as a mother, you know the strength of your boy. Much as he was learning, he was not so strong enough to lift heavy things. So I took him to the catering section. And he started learning catering, and they were good. They are using sign as, mingling, doing this, measuring, they're using cups. But the problem for him, he had not gone to school, like he didn't know even sign language. And these are deaf, and they are using sign. So the challenge I found is he hears. So I thought he would learn sign language from there. So for him, and yet when you are speaking in sign language, you don't talk. And you don't even show emotions because they will not understand you. You don't use gestures. And there is a limitation. There is a way they control sign language. So, like if we are calling, there's a way they communicate. And yet for him, he needed, when we are calling, you are using calm. So, and yet there's a way they call. The names, they will not call you Cedric. They use a sign name. So, he suffered there. And then those children realized, they started abusing him, that is dance. Because now for him, even us, when you don't respond to sign language properly, they started backbiting. Look at that dance woman. She doesn't understand sign language. So they looked at him as a dance person, but I never bothered. The teachers were accommodative. They gave him a lot of support. So he learned some baking. And eventually, because of, again, a challenge of, at least there, he was with the boys, he would play, the school accommodated him. All have their special needs, but he was there. He learned a lot from there. And when I saw he had acquired some skills, especially like calculating the quantity of flour, things like that, I eventually withdrew him. We came home, we started doing domestic things, poultry, cassava, growing and planting like beans. Again, you would see, he knows there are two seeds, the distance between one hole and another, things like that. So I involved him now more. We even switched off tap water. I started sending him to the well. I told him, your work, you have to fetch water, because it was big and I didn't have enough work. So he would fetch for us water.
And he would find his
in the morning. He would find. By the time I went to US, that one was not a problem. He had learned. So, but I wanted him to navigate more the problems. Have to go to the well. Those things that he can do, vocation. Eventually, as we talk now, he continued learning, progressing, home learning, and together with our siblings. So eventually, again after some time, because we came back from US in 2020, isn't 2019. So I started that. It was in 2020, was in that Uganda Society 2020, 2021. When COVID came, actually, is when I withdrew him from there and we started home-based training. By 2023, 2021, 2022, 2023, so 2023 January, I took him to a school. We applied for a job as an assistant chef. He started working.
Are you serious?
So he's working as a chef.
Oh, wow. The school took him on.
The school took him on. First of all, he's very cooperative. He hears, so he can hear, I can listen. So he was working like assistant chef, helping to serve the teachers. He can carry the plates, come back, and those are things he has been doing home. Wash. I told you, I used to send him to the well. Now fetching water from a tap to take to the kitchen, clean, he knows that thing. So I just told them, you just show him the routine. What is he supposed to do? So he knows when I reach in the morning, I have to fetch water. Then I do this. And he's serving on time. And now being a high school, a secondary school, Bethel High School, we found the boys of the same size. When they are doing sports, he's there. When they are doing, the only thing is, much as he does not talk, but he's part and parcel of the activity.
Everything.
And like when he misses a day, I don't know how many calls I receive. Where is he? Why hasn't he come? Because it's a big relief. And even them, they are testifying, the administration, that his presence in a school has made their children also appreciate. Hey, if this one can do. Because then teachers use him as an example. Don't you see that one? Is he with the mother? You have to live. So he does so many things for that school. He earns his salary. He does.
Oh, wow.
He does.
I'm curious. And he can spend it. He gives it to you.
Yes. When he receives it, of course, we are managing it together. Buying clothes. We invest part of it in poultry.
For real?
Yes. We've even started, with his salary, we've started eucalyptus planting. The eucalyptus garden I've talked about is his.
Done so well.
So I said, now, where do we take his money? Because he has to live before, maybe even after me. He has a life to live.
I know.
And suppose he should fit somewhere. And when he visits, Flavia, should I bring him to visit your home? You don't want him to go away. Because he will wake up, clean, he does things, wash dishes, and he puts things in order. They are very ordered. If this belongs, shoes are here. Even at home, he commands, much as he's like a non-verbal, but in the sisters, no. And they are waking up. He wakes up in the morning, 5 o'clock. Get up, go to the reading room. Do this. Now it's time for washing. Why are you bringing the shoe here? The shoes are supposed to be there. Slippers not in the bedroom. Even if you were a visitor, and you put. He will tell you where to put them. He will show you. He will call you. This one belongs here.
He will carry you and take you.
He will hold you by a hand. Then he takes you.
Wow.
He puts your shoes are supposed to be here. And he will wait when mom is not there. I'm busy making for you juice because he's bothered. Where has this woman put the shoe in the corner? Before you know, he has shown, and he will pull you. Please come. Even come.
Oh wow.
Sit. Put the things here, and the more you work with him, he's non-verbal, but he's aggressive. You understand his communication.
Sure.
Come, sit, do this.
Yeah, he gets all of that.
Even that kitchen, like, he guards. You can't just enter. Safety. A stranger cannot enter. Like, he's there. They put him in charge to guard. Somebody, even if he is a member of that staff and is trying to enter, you will not allow. You are not part of us. The people who work here are here.
The only ones.
And you know, he has a lot of energy, yes. So because of that, they feel, we are secure. And the boy has to be there until the food is served. He is the last one to ensure that the doors are closed. Everything is washed, put in their order. And then he waits to go back home.
Amazing.
Yes.
So you stopped us at a point. You have reached the airport. Your mind is with Cedric.
Yes.
You have helped Cedric. How do you transfer this knowledge now you've gathered to your fellow teachers in your school?
Thank you so much, Flavia. Before transferring this knowledge to my fellow teacher, I started looking at parents out there bringing their children. Old Kampala SS is not as inclusive as those schools you're talking about in USA. We don't have the special needs teachers, as I said. Even me, I don't have the skills.
Yes.
I'm just doing things mechanically. And before we go back, by the time I left US, I had learned at the moment a person has, and even from my research, a disability, whether physical or cognitive, they have a disability somewhere and it may be connected to their brain. There are things they will never learn, however much you force. Some things they will learn, some things they will never learn. And that is it. And you have to accept it and you concentrate on what they have learned. And that's what they're doing. They have learned this, appreciate that, build that. So when I came, I started looking at, actually, there are even people who look, I looked at disabilities. There are children who may look really very normal. And that's where I also disagree with parents forcing the child to do this subject. There are certainly things a person may never learn. And another one may be good in such a subject. So I come, I start seeing, my first encounter was with Robert Senkubuge. I saw him in senior 1, but he was struggling. Was at school struggling. I didn't know much about him or his parents, but I'm seeing a boy on the compound and I can easily, and he does. I was touched. I started putting myself in the shoes of those parents because I know what I've gone. So I said, this boy must be having autism. Yes, I don't have diagnosing skills, but from experience I can know this one is this one is autism, dyslexia, Down syndrome, learning disability. the moment I enter class and I teach children, I cannot. So I say, how can I help? So, and this boy had also concentration disorder. He does not listen. Like when you call him, he runs away. So I followed the boy. He was running away. I followed the boy. I followed the boy. But I know these kids love ICT. They love a lot technology, a lot. So I said, now, to win this boy, I'm going to use my phone. So I would load MBs on my phone. Then I call the boy and I show him the games. So the boy became my friend. This is the boy who would loiter, move around the compound, never concentrate.
And the teachers?
And the teachers also didn't know what to do. They're like, this boy does not belong here. He should be taken to a special needs school. We're not going to help this parent. Even the administrators, they are there with the boy. When they look normal. At the time of admission, I think they didn't know what it is. So he was never in class, but I brought him closer, take him to class, start studying, giving that boy support. And then the teachers, of course, when we're in the meetings, they're like, there's this boy, the boy does not belong here because maybe he should be taken to special needs schools. And yet I've told you, there's nothing much. Said, what do I do? When I go talk to the administrator, head teacher, but no, this boy should stay here. I think we need this boy here. He's even helping others to appreciate. That's what they call diversity. That at least me. And even because I learned from the US that people's stress and probably these kids help people to appreciate what they have. The teacher said, no, you are right. And the parents are very supportive. So eventually I joined with our parents. But you not so much. I reached out. The parents are the ones who looked for me because I would give him work. They would see. Yes. So I said, where is this teacher? And it's on his book, which would have work. I would give him work, mark. And so I said, all the books were clean. The teachers didn't know what to do because it doesn't sit. Yes. He would never sit in class. He was moving around. So now the parents looked for the teacher who gives. So I told them that have a similar child, but I want to see that at least yours goes up to senior 4. I don't know how. This is a boy who does not do work, not because, but I don't know. But I'm going to, so I started now. I used that boy. I put myself in the position of the parent. The only thing I can do for these parents and for Uganda and for myself, mine never studied. This one should study in my mind. So, there are those grants, teacher support grant. I write a proposal on awareness, cognitive learning, disability awareness in Uganda, and I got a grant from Global Teacher Fund. I organized a training for the teachers. So I organized the training and I used him. I called the parent. I said, I want to use him. They didn't know my story. They didn't know what I had gone through. So I shared my story. I showed them videos of my son. And I told them about the boy teachers broke down. Said, now started coming to me, how do we help? I'm like, help him in the way you can. What he can do, he will do. What he doesn't do, he will never do. Because parents have high expectations. We want our son to be an engineer. I told them, stop those ones. You want your son to complete this term to then one day at a time. But those things, let's do first things first. Of course, you can't discourage the parents. They have big dreams that I know that much as this boy is there, we are trying to accept the things he never learned. So teachers became more accepting and more supportive. So I think the community came to know. They brought more children. And in that school, we have very many children. And teachers are supporting. Supporting. And they were like, in what kind of, the only thing I discuss with teachers, you just leave him to be in your class. If he can write, let him write what he can. The only problem we are having, Flavia, is that parents expect so much. And like I've said, my son, my daughter who is Noelline should do the same quantity of work like Flavia. And yet we have to break. Like when a child has disability, you break into smaller, manageable tasks according to their ability. So we got others with dyslexia, various disabilities. And in the school, we also have other multi, whatever, tribe, those children who are coming from different countries, they're also struggling with languages, like those from Eritrea may not know English. They are also disabled in a way that they are, first of all, joining a society which has not been a part of them. Here we can slap. Maybe in their countries, there's nothing like slapping. There is a way we discipline our girls, greeting and so on. That may not be part of their culture. So I started appreciating and I continue talk. Of course, some teachers can be rude. That one, no, does not understand. And you leave such a teacher, you talk, talking. And no, that's what I have done. Currently, as I speak, that boy who never used to go to class and he had autism, he completed senior 4.
No way. No way.
And he passed.
No.
Attending a minimum attendance of class. I'm not saying that he concentrated 100%, but he would come. When he's tired, he comes to teacher Noelline. I give him a phone. He plays his, then he goes back. Breaking some lessons, he attends others. He passed his senior 4. He came back and doing MEG. He's now in senior 6.
He's doing MEG?
Yes, he's doing MEG.
Wow.
And he's doing well, and he's going to pass. He's going to pass that MEG. Then there are also others who have joined, and they're also, and I know they will pass. But this particular, and I'm talking about it because I'm a personal friend, but there are others.
Yes,
they are also struggling with dyslexia and other disabilities, but they're also being
helped.
Yeah, even health. And I'm telling you, like after that workshop, we shared, even that boy spoke about his experiences.
He was able to speak.
He was able to speak, to read. Of course, he speaks slowly, but yeah, teachers listened. And yeah, I see our school has become more inclusive. And we are accepted. They cannot chase a child just because they have a disability. No, they cannot. They will welcome.
Noelline, I know you have shared that they need to give them piecemeal and all, but I've worked with teachers and teachers are nervous.
Yes.
Honestly, about I have this number of children in my class and I have this, how do I manage the normal ones and this one child? Are there any like practical things that they can do besides just letting them be? Might you know?
Yeah, some of the practical things. If teachers, because those children may not be too many, if you can sacrifice, those people love ICT. They love ICT. Many schools have computer. I don't think the administration can refuse to give you a computer. That at least you allow them to Google those things you are teaching, prepare images, they look at them images, carry live things you are teaching, a topic you can carry live things, and let them, because for us in Uganda, you don't have an assistant teacher like US, the number is big, but let them be there. And you can even allow them to put their heads down, lying down. If they want to move out, you allow them to go out without being bitter because they are struggling. Bringing images, like me, I've told you, like that particular boy, I would give him my phone and I would load data. Others may not do that. But even in some schools, they have the ICT, they have the Wi-Fi. The best way forward is at least they can have access to internet-based things. If not, pictures, textbooks. I'm teaching biology. Bring a textbook of biology, colored pictures. And you know they are not going to copy. Open that page. So you see, pregnancy, you leave him to concentrate there as you teach others. Because when a day is bad with these kids, they are also moody. They don't know even how to control their moods. So if they've come and they're not willing to study, they will not study. And if they come, they want. So backing at them is not an issue, but you can give them like a textbook, open the pictures, or you can like give a small task that they're interested in. Some small task, or like a question, and then with obvious answers.
Sure.
They will do.
Okay.
Which you know, because you as a teacher, you can understand that this one, sincerely, this area is an area of interest. That they remain occupied as you continue teaching. But even as you are teaching the other, they pick one or two things.
Awesome.
And they don't need to pick it 100%.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I've addressed the teachers. I'm now thinking about a parent who might be nervous about having their child into mainstream education. What advice would you have for them? Like, I have my son and I'm just worried about bringing them into mainstream education. I don't think they'll get the attention they need. I don't think.
Yes, I can't assure them that they may get full attention. But one thing, Flavia, I've discovered, a child with special needs, you're the parent, the first parents, because I'm one, we live in denial and we are very hopeful. You think things will happen.
Yes.
The following day, when I take him to teacher Noelline, since teacher Noelline has talked about the other boy, even this boy I'm talking about, we've worked with our parents and they are still struggling. So parents should not worry. There are schools that are very inclusive. Even it is a policy by Minister of Education, depending on their areas where they stay. Like for us, we have KCCA. Each district has even a county education office. When you got those offices, there is that desk that deals with special needs. They know the schools within their areas. They can recommend. It may not be a school of your choice. You want school B, but if they recommend school A, is because there is most of these, especially public schools, have a focal person. Like me, I'm a disability focal person. So they are usually focal persons, and those ones are known by education officers. Even at a county level, there's an education office. Let them go there. They can go and seek for help. If they don't go get help there, they can move even up to Minister of Education. There is a special needs education desk. They can look at your area and where is the focal person. And then, but the only problem is you not take a child to any school. There are some schools that are exclusive. So, but ministry knows they're inclusive. But even in the community, there are inclusive schools, which may not necessarily be your choice, the school of your choice. So, but after taking that child there, they will definitely put them in an inclusive class. A child may be in, I know some schools here in Kampala, they may even promote your child beyond their class just because they know the teacher will accept is in the other class. And when you are there, don't demand so much from that teacher, because when you're the parent, you know how long it has taken you. Like me, I've told you 10 good years. This is the boy who has failed to learn toilet manners 10 years. So I don't expect the teacher to teach such a boy alphabet in 2 days.
I hear you.
Yes. So parents are very expectant. They look at teachers as gods, but other the schools are there everywhere because it is a policy and it is a right. It is a right of a child. Every child has a right to have quality education and accessible education, irrespective of their disability. But we know not all schools, but everywhere, in all parts of Uganda, what they need to do is to look for focal persons. Then when they reach the school, they communicate with the teachers, but it requires continuous involvement of a parent. Even you as a parent, you do your part at home. Train. If it needs undressing, like me, Noelline, undress before your child. The teacher will not do it for you.
You have to do it yourself.
If it needs helping the child to write, the parent has to write. Be very involved. You have to be involved fully. So if the child with special needs, including physical and mental, they have to collaborate. Where special needs, Flavia, people think, because I've talked of cognitive, they think of slow learners, but even behavior problems. There are children who don't settle. Those are also special kids. They have a disability somewhere. They may look normal, but why aren't they learning? Why aren't they behaving? Again, you remember in US, there's a way they were including those ones. So if they chase them from school A then to school B, you as a parent, you talk Don't blame the teachers. Find a way of helping this child. The child is having a behavior problem because he lacks concentration. That is the concentration disorder, cannot concentrate, wants to bang things, is beating, fighting the teachers, they don't know how to use their energy. Don't just defend. Some parents defend their children, but the child will box the teacher, not because is bad-mannered. The energy is too much and has a disability, does not cognitively distinguish and doesn't know where to take the energy. Others end up in those relationships. So much relationship because they have the energy, they are using it, sexual relations. They're like, I'm taking my energy here. So they need continuous help
all the time. Noelline, did you tell us what is the benefit of putting them in a normal school?
Yeah, the benefit of putting them in a normal school, children learn from other children better than they learn from adults. And now, when they are not in a normal school, they will be learning from the others who are already deficient. But they will learn from these ones how to dress, even to associate. Another advantage, they help your child with special needs who is in normal school. It's also helping the other normal children to learn, to appreciate, to be appreciative, to be accommodative, and to even raise self-esteem.
I understand.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So it benefits either way. It is beneficial to the, and even to a teacher.
Yes.
Teacher, you leave home, you have your stresses, pressure. Now when you see such a child, you appreciate. You are complaining about your child who scored 20, who got 2 points in A-level, but there is this one who cannot even read. So you appreciate and you calm down.
Sure.
Yes.
Noelline,
yes,
I mean, it's been an amazing time with you. As we come to a close, I think we would sit here forever.
Yes.
But we need to come to a close. I'm just wondering, would you share with us, when you think about inclusive education in this country and with the work that you've started doing, where do you see it? What do you think success would look like? And how can teachers, school leaders or the community get involved to help us see this reality? So help us paint that picture and then just briefly give us the roles we would play.
Yeah. Inclusive education in this country, it is there on paper, sincerely speaking.
Yes.
And Uganda is an inclusive country. Schools are inclusive. People with disability have a lot of rights. There are even so many things. For instance, my son is 24 years old, but I've never benefited from those so many things, disability, because for him, he cannot write his name. So when you say there is a grant or a fund for the disabled, who are the beneficiaries? Is it those ones who are physically? Have you thought about it? But at least we've started, because we even have an MP, a member of parliament, representing the disabled people. That is a good starting point. And even as we are here and teachers are doing much, as I said, there's a desk office for disability. But I think, as you have said, it has to not to start from up. It has to come back to the grassroots. Let's go back right from LOC1, this disability, whatever focal person in LOC1 in the village is now answering to who? Where do they report to? Do they present the statistics of individuals with disability? Out of those, how many? The young ones, the elder, because they are not many. They're not the biggest part of the population. So it should start right from the grassroots, from the village, LOC1. Let's get the statistics, the reality. How many children are out there? And I'm telling you, there are many locked in the houses, not because their parents want to lock. I've told you my son his story. I had to go to work. Yes. You have to lock him and work. So we need that person at the village level, because I've seen in our villages, we have what they call them the health personnel, they call health visitors, health pass people who are in charge of health, and indeed they are doing great work at the village level, distributing medicine, but is there a disability focal person starting from grassroots before you go up to the pyramid? Now from that one in the grassroots, they report to who? Where do they go? And so that the chain continues before even we implement it in school. How many are in my village, in your village?
Yeah.
For instance, Flavia, is there a focal person in your village?
That
Suppose you know of. Suppose you saw a mother struggling with a child, maybe from your child, or what do you do? Where do you go?
I know.
Yes, I feel it has to start from the grassroots, and I know LOCs are willing. It is people are willing, so it should start. It should not be the one we have sincerely on paper because it is up. It is starting from up, management from above, not down.
Normally doesn't.
Because of that, is only working for those who are partly. And you may find that the people we are talking about, we are including, those are not the real ones. The real ones are rotting in their families. Yes, they are. Because the parents don't know where. Now, when we start from there, when we know the statistics, then we shall start slowly to fold them up. Because if there is a focal person who is facilitated, they're here, they give a bicycle to an LOC one person. This person should be facilitated and should be intentional because there is a budget. But now from the grassroots, and then maybe move on to LOC 1, LOC 2, county, and then we know the age bracket, the kinds of disabilities,
what schools
to send to. But even the elderly ones like ours, where do they go?
I see.
How do they register? Because I only considering the ones who are in school. Then from there, then we are going to be more inclusive. Because even the parents of those kids will feel recognized.
Yes.
Their children are included. But if we are excluded right from home,
then
it becomes hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is my view. Instead of saying we write a paper, we put it a rule, schools should be let it then there should be a system that goes to the grassroots. LOC1 officers are there, they are very active, and we see there is a woman is representative. What about disability? And this disability representative has to be somebody who could be a mother, somebody who is in it, who feels how painful it is. That is what I think.
Thank you.
But all the same, I call upon everybody. Me, this is what I do. I can't pass. Actually, even when I'm moving and I see such children, they need love, they need acceptance. Get out, say hi. Yes. Because they feel they are lost. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Inclusion starts with you and me. Let's accept them. Then the teachers, the teachers.
That is what I was
right from primary. Like mine, I've told you. They said he's too big to be in nursery. And when it was nursery, we cannot manage. You can manage if you purpose. Accept, it starts with all accepting that this is there and the child is there, has come, the mother has brought, and we need to help. And then have them there. They only have them there within that community and let them be part of the community.
Sure.
Monitor them. Yes, they are not learning at the pace of the others, but let them be accepted within the community. It starts with acceptance.
Starts with you and I.
Yes. Awesome. With me. Yeah.
With me. And then
yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Noelline.
Yes,
I can't thank you enough. This has been amazing. It's been very eye-opening. It's been an amazing conversation. To our teachers out there, this is for you. You've had it. If we've been sending the children out, I hope we can now reconsider and see how best we can have them in our classrooms. It's been an episode of the Teacher Podcast. As I always say, if there is an educator that you'd like to hear from, please do let us know in the comment section so we can look for them and host them on the show. It's been an emotional one. I don't know what to say, but we hope you've been inspired to be better in your profession. Thank you so much. Until our next episode. Bye.